Hey everyone, my name is Salib. This is my English 210 block project one assignment, and I chose my assignment to be over how to prepare for a job interview. And I think this is fairly important for every young man or just everyone in general out there. You need a job to survive. So I think this will be educational for anyone watching it. And without further ado, let's get started. So on our agenda, as you saw on the first slide, is our title and what my informational assignment was about. On the second side is the agenda, what you're looking at right now. The third slide is going to be the introduction and the situation on why this would be useful for you and how this could affect you later on in life. The fourth through sixth slides are going to be the pre-interview, during the interview, and the post-interview. And that'll just be me going through the necessary steps in each one. And on the last slide will be my conclusion and my references. So let's get started. So why is it important to know how to prepare properly for a job interview? So job interviews can feel pretty nerve-wracking, especially if you're new to the job market or if you're just starting out. And a lot of people aren't sure what to say or how to prepare themselves, how to carry themselves, or even how to get ready before they walk right in the door. And that's completely normal. But here's the thing: preparation makes all the difference. And if you skip it, it could you'll end up looking unprofessional, even if you are qualified for the position. But if you take the time to prepare, you'll walk in with confidence, and you're going to show. If you're ready to show your best side, it'll make all the difference, and you'll definitely leave a lasting impression. And that's why I think this guy matters so much, because it breaks down the whole process into a couple simple steps, and like what to do before the interview, how to handle yourself while you're in the interview, and how to follow up afterwards, which I think is one of the most important parts. Actually, it's a simple part that most people overlook, and by following these tips, you can avoid all the common mistakes that are made that beginners make, and you're going to stand out from other candidates, which in turn will boost your chances of landing the job you want. And with the right preparation, we can walk in ready, and it'll be one step closer to your ideal future. So let's start off with the pre-interview. So I think one of the most important steps pre-interview is going to be your research and planning. What you want to do is you want to be ready walking into that room on what you're applying for, what the company's message is, and how you bring value to the company. So you should need to study the job description and the company background. Prepare thoughtful questions to ask the interviewer. This is really important because it makes it seem like you're engaged. It makes it seem like you're actually interested in the position you're applying for. And then plan transportation or test your computer, your laptop, whatever you're using for any virtual interviews. Secondly, hygiene and appearance. This is so important. It's typically overlooked, but you want to shower, groom, and trim your nails neatly. Wear clean, wrinkle-free, job-appropriate clothes. I didn't say business professional or business casual because I want this to be as general as possible for any job that you apply to. But they'll typically advise you on what to wear to an interview. If it's business casual, business professional, typically you don't want to get too comfortable, but some jobs don't necessarily require the prestiginess of what you wear compared to other jobs. So and then wear colognes and perfumes. You think it's necessary. I wear cologne sometimes before important events, but you don't want to avoid wearing too strong of a cologne or perfume because the interviewer will be able to tell, and it's sometimes unattractive. So regarding speech practice, you want to practice introducing yourself with confidence. Use body language. Use your tone of voice really matters, and it makes a difference when you're sitting in that interview room. Rehearse your answers to common questions that you think the interviewer would ask. So tell me about yourself, why you're interested in this job. I think those are all important questions that you should be able to answer like that, just off the tip of your finger like that. And then focus on tone, pacing, and body language. I mentioned it earlier, but it's really important. You don't want to seem too rushed. You don't want to seem too relaxed. You kind of want to have that perfect flow going to make it seem that you're right there with your interviewer. So some materials to bring before your interview is an extra copy of your resume, a cover letter if the job requires it, and a list of references or certifications if needed. Um, Also, it's not required for most jobs, but I would personally bring a notebook and a pen for notes just to make it show that you're interested. So during the interview, you want to make a good first impression. Arrive 10 to 15 minutes early. Greet the interviewer politely and use his name if you know what his name is. Use his name if possible, and then smile, offer a firm handshake, and show confidence right off the start. It makes a great first impression, and it really means a lot in the end. Body language and communication: sit straight with your shoulders back. A good posture. Everyone loves a good posture. Make natural eye contact and avoid fidgeting, slouching, or crossing your arms because it makes it seem like you're uninterested. Answering and asking questions. So listen carefully before responding. You don't want to answer the question you don't want to give an off-topic answer to a very specific question because it seems unprofessional and it seems like you don't actually care what they're talking about. And you want to speak clearly, calmly, and confidently, and ask your prepared questions at the right time. Don't make it seem forced. Don't make it seem like you really need to ask these questions. Just go with the flow and ask the questions as your interviewer is talking. And fit it in if you can. And closing the interview, you want to thank the interviewer, like politely, highlight your enthusiasm to work for the company if you were given the opportunity, and then end with confidence and appreciation. For the post interview, this is not talked about enough. I think it's so important. Following up, you should follow up politely after 1 to 2 weeks. If there's no reply, typically it shouldn't take 1 to 2 weeks. I personally have never had it take 1 to 2 weeks, but you should always, you should never take more than 1 to 2 weeks. You should always follow up and keep the tone professional and appreciative in your follow-up email, and reaffirm your interest in that role, that whatever role you're applying for, to make it seem like you're really passionate about working for this company. You want to reflect and be organized and keep organized. You want to reflect on the interview you just had. So write down key points right after your interview and note what went well and what to improve. So you can improve it in your next interview if needed. And you want to track applications and interview dates beforehand and afterhand, because you're going to keep applying. This is the most important step. Keep applying to interviews after your job. Keep applying to jobs after your interview, and stay positive. It can be easy to get disencouraged, but don't get disencouraged by setbacks. Stay positive and keep looking for jobs, and use the feedback that you wrote down after the interview to improve yourself for the next interview. And my last slide. Thank you for watching. I have no references. I wrote this all myself. This is all from my personal experience, and I really appreciate everyone for watching. I hope everyone learned something from my informational assignment today. Thank you.